Hello, hello. What's up? How you doing?
Really? Very
Yes.
good. Greetings from Athens.
Oh man, it's been a long 2 months traveling all over the place.
So you've been to Egypt and to
Yeah.
Greece before, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I went to Greece about a month and a half ago. Spent some time in Athens and also in Santorini. And while I was in Santorini, I went to Akrotiri, where they have the volcanic ash that covered over the ancient Atlantean civilization there. It's a dig site
Wow.
now.
So I just missed you by a couple of weeks, I think.
Yes, yes. So you're there now?
I'm here now, and I'm here for 3, 4 months at least. At least.
Wow, wow. Yeah,
Right now, I'm studying.
great place to get knowledge.
Absolutely, and it's just. I don't want to get into religion and stuff, but in a sense, it's amazing what the ancient Greek philosophers were up to and how they were thinking and how they were observing things.
Yeah.
And it's just tragic what happened, after the next wave of ignorance came for hundreds of years. And just reflecting on how we do things nowadays and the people we follow nowadays. You look at someone like Aristotle, for example. He invented psychology, biology, meteorology, ethics, and he was just Aristotle. Nowadays people just go and they take a course and like a best-selling author, international acclaim.
Yeah.
But bros, they say he wrote 10 million words on papyrus scroll, out of which just 20% has been preserved.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating and amazing, and just some people to learn from.
Yeah. A real teacher and a real student and a master. So, the cycle goes when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And when the teacher is ready, the master will appear. And so he became all three of those to himself because there was no university to go to. There was no special courses you could take online. He had to really dig deep into the fundamentals of information knowledge, and he had to do a lot of thought experiments with
Yeah.
himself to come up with these particular theories, solutions, and different philosophies as well.
What I love about him, he was a student of Plato, and they were also very close.
Yeah.
But back then, philosophers would get together and they would debate. They wouldn't just talk and encourage whatever each and everyone else was saying. And he has a
Yeah.
quote. He says something like, "I love Plato, but I love truth more."
Wow.
Yeah,
Powerful.
yeah. They had a lot of they were friends, but they disagreed on a lot of things. They had, in a sense, different philosophies, but that was
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
And getting together and debating while being friends, while
Hmm.
respecting each other, just encourages growth. Not just anything you
Yeah.
say is true, blah blah.
Right.
That's how we think. That's how we see different perspectives.
Exactly. I agree. You see, one of the biggest problems that we have online right now with social media is if I post something, let's say, for example, I use myself as an example. If somebody doesn't agree with it, instead of making a logical, open debate that is respectful, where we can still maintain a relationship or a friendship or whatever you want to call it, right? And a lot of people will come negative and attack it versus saying, let's have an open discussion about it. Let's ask questions to each other
Yeah.
about it openly, respectfully with dignity. And that's
Hmm.
really what an open debate is all about. Unfortunately, a lot of social media has given a lot of people the green light to be abusive and very negative. And when you can't really find truth that way, you're blocking everything out. You're not even giving yourself the ability to be open to learn anything new. And so, we have to look and grow up a little bit more. We have to be able to realize this is somebody what they're posting. This information is from their perspective. If you don't
Yeah.
agree with it, you can ask questions. You can provide other information to back up maybe a different theory. But it always should be done in a respectful and kind way. Otherwise, you're creating negative karma.
It's true. I think people are not encouraged to think nowadays. I think many of them are acting out of fear, and they like to just cling on to a certain philosophy,
Hmm.
and they just protect and bite away at anything that or cancel anything that's not in alignment with that, because they just want to believe so much in this
Yeah,
that that if they don't even want their mind to be perturbed with other types of knowledge,
yeah,
and thing is that even like here in ancient philosophy, it was always encouraged to entertain. It's like the mark of an educated person, by which Aristotle was naming an educated person, was, okay, can you entertain another idea that is completely opposite to what you believe in? But can you also entertain a different idea to see it from a different angle? And I think, like you said, we're missing that nowadays. But I think we're gonna, at a certain point, we're gonna get down to get back to the basics.
Oh yeah,
because
we
there's
will.
too much marketing going on. Just too much marketing. I think people are gonna get bored at a certain moment. They're gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna start figuring this out for me because I don't like just too much mumbo jumbo, floating around.
Yeah. And what you said is so key. Figuring it out for me. In other words, everyone has to take a journey to inner space at some point. And we have to leave the position of, I'm going to follow whatever this person says, and whatever they say is real. And we have to understand that, let me listen to, I like what he's saying, or I like what she's saying, but let me now go research it for myself and see if I can add any pieces to this puzzle, or if it really does fully, truly resonate with me. Let me just dig into it a little bit deeper to make sure that everything there is really in alignment, that it's really, according to my understanding, verifiable, true, or has a great theory to it or something like that. And so we have to start working towards, I should say, finding our own truths instead of just accepting everyone else's.
Yes. Well, one of the reasons I invited you to our live, Billy, is just because of the abundance of messages I receive from people. And while there's a certain place for full moons and crystals and a lot of things, I have a tendency to believe that, and it's just by the questions, maybe the majority of them are not about more, let's say, common sense practices to improve your life. They're more like, you know what? At what time should I set my intention on the next new moon in order for me to manifest $1 million? Or what kind of crystals should I get? And what I want to ask you, because I know there's a place for it, can you talk a bit about crystals, full moons, but also can you give people some common sense when it comes to the whole, holistic manifesting part of things?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, crystals and full moons, they do have their place in the manifestation process. They can enhance different things that you're doing, but it's not going to do it for you. That's where people get lost. They think that, I can just, it's like playing the lottery on a specific date. I'm going to win automatically. Not exactly. Crystals, first of all, crystals are sentient living beings. I believe that crystals are alive. They can do everything that a human being can do. They can duplicate. They can communicate. They resonate at different frequencies. They have the capability to grow. They can, you can use them in technology. So just like our bodies are technological avatars, they have the ability to create their own technology by using crystals. So even when you have a lighter is striking on a crystal on the inside, and the crystal, when it gets pressurized, it creates a spark of photons, which gives you the flame. So crystals are really, really incredible things, and they're used in so many different ways. And in the future, they'll be mostly used in computers. Super advanced quantum computers will be using crystal technology because they have the capability of communicating at a multidimensional level. And so because of this, having crystals is great because they do have particular functions. They do emanate specific frequencies. They do enhance your light waves coming out of your brain when you're thinking about manifesting specific things. And also the moon has gravitational effects. So when you have a full moon, you have gravitational effects which affect your thought process, affect your brain waves, affect your genetic structure, your DNA, everything. So you have both of these things working hand in hand. But at the same time, they're not going to do the job for you. Those are just magnifiers. If I take a magnifying glass and I don't put it in the sunlight, I'm not going to be able to focus a beam on anything. Okay, but if I take the magnifying glass, which is what these crystals and moon periods are, they're just magnifying glasses in a way, and I put that magnifying glass under the sun in the right angle, then I can create a beam that I can focus on something and I can light that thing on fire. So it's how you put the energy into it. You have to actually physically do something. You have to pick that magnifying glass up and put it somewhere. You have to align it with the power of the sun. And so when we're talking about manifesting and these things, it has to do with how much energy you put into the situation, not just with all these particular other alignments and moons and crystals. No, it's also what you're going to do. What are you going to put into this? In other words, have you created a list? Somebody contacted me the other day and said, I want you to be my mentor. And I said, well, what are you trying to achieve? And that person said, I don't even know. Okay, well, we're starting from -0. You have to know what you're wanting to at least achieve, whether it's your business, whether it's your life, social or non-social, whatever it is, you got to at least know what that is. That's the fundamental basis. You have to know that at least. And then you have to understand, okay, well, what particular steps will it take to do this? What other steps have other people taken? Let me research this particular thing and see what other people have done to get step-by-step process to get to the end result. And once you have that understanding, now you can begin to your manifestation meditations, your manifestation walks, your breathing techniques, your eating habits, everything else, always centered in focusing on what that manifestation is going to be, but also remembering the steps it takes and focusing on each step and taking one step at a time and watching the growth happen. Also, discernment is important. Discerning is huge. Do I see this opportunity that I've been trying to manifest this thing over here, but this opportunity is coming to link me to it? Do I see this opportunity coming? It opens up like a window. Windows open, but windows also close. You have to know when that window's open. You got to go through that window and take advantage of that opportunity, but that requires discernment. You have to be able to see when the help is coming or when the next link in the chain is coming to help connect you to your end results. So this takes really a lot of practice, studying, energy, meditation, moons and crystals, but it definitely takes a lot of energy exchange and thought process on your end. It's not just going to happen magically.
100%. And for a lot of people right now that are overwhelmed, because I do believe there's also a lot of overwhelm. If you go on Instagram right now, there's a lot of pages, there's a lot of references, there's a lot of promises. For a person that's stuck, for a person that maybe doesn't know what they want, what are some recommendations you have for them? Maybe people living in fear that feel blocked, they just want to get over it and maybe start setting some new directions in their life. What do you recommend?
Well, you have to really, I hate to sound like a broken record, but you have to find whatever you're passionate about. That's really one of the most important things. I mean, I can't say it enough. So many people are living outside of their passion. They're working at these companies and these places, and a lot of them are really agitated. I understand, because they're posting about the dangers of different chemicals in your food, and they're working at places that actually produce that exact same chemical-based food and things like that. So they're really frustrated with themselves because it's like they want to escape the matrix, but they're kind of stuck and trapped in it, and they don't know what to do. And I think that people really need to take the time to sit down and analyze themselves, talk to yourself, have a conversation with yourself out loud. I talk out loud to myself all the time. Matter of fact, I tell people, if you see me talking to myself, don't worry, I'm getting good advice. Talk to yourself, okay? And ask yourself, what do you like? What do you really like in life? What is your passion? What would you really like to do? I mean, whatever it is. It could be an astronaut. It could be, it could be that you like to, you want to be a road engineer. You want to, maybe just want to work at the grocery store. Whatever it is, but whatever your passion, what you feel really passionate about, be real to yourself. Be true to yourself. If it's something that you don't know how to do, ask yourself, are you willing to learn this at this period in time frame in your life? And if you are, then you have to take steps to master that thing, whatever it is. Whether it's you need to go take classes, you need to go be an apprentice with somebody, whatever it is, you need to learn how to do that thing. You have to become very good at it. But if you're passionate about it, you'll be good at it. Focus on things that you like. Stop focusing on things that you hate. Too many people are working in fields of business and companies that they absolutely hate. And all they do is come home with all that anger and that frustration, and they take out on their kids and their loved ones and everything else because they've been frustrated because they feel like they're trapped in a cage all day doing something that they hate. At some point, you have to take a risk. You have to jump off that cliff and you got to spread your wings and fly. And sometimes it may mean that you may suffer for a little while financially. You may be eating like I did, bread and water for a little while. But there is always a light at the end of the tunnel if you really focus on doing it and making it becoming, making it part of your reality. I think that anyone can pretty much do it. It's just a matter of taking the faith. And I tell you what, if somebody was put in a position where they had to pursue their passion, there was no other option, they would do it and they would be perfect at it. Because if you told them, look, if you don't do this, you're on the street. Pursue your passion or you're homeless. Everyone's going to go crazy after their passion. Why do we think like that? When I was playing basketball, I used to go to the free throw line. I had a 97% free throw average. It makes. people say, how do you have this high percentage free throw average? Because every time I went to the line, this may sound crazy, I envisioned someone abducting my oldest son. And if I didn't make the free throw, they told me, if you don't make this free throw, I'm taking it. So that was the pressure I put on myself. Like, if I don't make this free throw, they're going to take my son. I made almost every free throw thinking that way. I tricked my own self into becoming the best free throw shooter on my teams. And so, that's the kind of mindset we have to challenge ourselves to the highest level, whatever it takes mentally to get you there. Do it, because you're going to have to do that for yourself. Thought experiments, thinking deeply, giving yourself ultimatums. You got to be your own boss, and also, of course, trying to perfect whatever you really love.
You said something interesting. Find out and do what you love, what you're passionate about. But also, I want to emphasize something. I want to ask you about something, because and even Aristotle said excellence is not an act but a habit. And I think there are a lot of people who think that they should be doing things when they feel like it, when they feel inspired, or whatever. And I just remember a story from a friend of mine who, very talented guitar guy. And I remember, sitting down with him like 10 years ago, and he's like, bro, I'm not going to do anything today because I don't feel like it. I'm just going to sing when I feel like it. And now he's still an average guy. I don't even think he makes any money from guitar. Yeah. And on the same time, there are people like, for example, Kobe Bryant, who just practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced with this amazing, integrity and ethic in their work, whether they felt like it or not. So how do you see this? Because many times we just don't want to do anything.
A lot of people, listen, even sometimes I don't want to do anything. And I'm doing a lot. And sometimes I sit back and I go, I just don't want to do anything right now. I just don't want to do this. But I start thinking of the end result of me not doing anything. And I go, oh, the end result, or the consequence, I should say, of me not doing anything is far greater than me taking this little break right now. So I just suck it up. We have to realize we're talking about the Hermetic principles now, the Hermetic principle of cause and effect. And so every decision is going to have a consequence, whether it's a good consequence or a bad consequence. There will be a consequence to every decision you make. I can make a decision right now to turn my phone off and walk away from this Instagram Live, and everybody will be like, what happened? And they'll be pissed off and angry, like, why did this guy just walk out like that? Or I could stay on this Instagram Live and have a great conversation with you and try to help to enlighten people and leave them walking away from here, feeling fulfilled, enlightened, and maybe even inspired. So those are the two decisions there right there, the two consequences of a decision that can be made. So every single decision we make is going to have that consequence. Today, I had a choice. I went to go eat breakfast. They tried to give me a muffin. I'm not supposed to eat any muffins because I'm going to the Maldives for a vacation in November, and I want to be fit. And they, they know me, so they put the muffin on my table, and I didn't even ask for it. Now I had a decision to make. Do I eat this muffin, or do I not eat the muffin? I turned it away. So every time we turn around, we have a decision. You can sit down, you can say, I don't feel like doing anything today, but you got to realize that the consequences, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to get any closer to any of your goals. Your finances are not going to get any better. Your situation is not going to evolve or change. And the more you sit down, the more, I would say, maybe addictive it gets to doing nothing. It becomes like an addiction. And then little by little, you become a super procrastinator. And then eventually, nothing's getting done.
Absolutely. And another thing that I think it's important for us to understand from a psychological, even a biological level, is that our biology, our more primordial brain, is usually against our crazy inspirational thoughts, because our brain likes certainty and it likes preserving energy. And it's true, from time to time, it wants variety, so it doesn't get bored. But this is when people get trapped, because they don't do anything for a few days. Then their brain wants something else, and then now you feel inspired. So, okay, I'm going to go to the gym because I felt inspired. But that's just the brain's basic, like the basic needs of the brain for some variety in contrast to certainty. But that doesn't cut it, because the brain wants 7 days of certainty and 1 day of variety. And that doesn't lead to excellence, and that doesn't lead to good habits. It's about understanding that and overcoming that through discipline, like you said. Greece is also like I have 6 days a week where I respect my plan, because I'm also training here with a very good trainer.
Wow.
And you go there and they give you food and they give you desserts and whatever. Every time I go to a restaurant, I say no pita bread and no desserts after. And then I said my only day is on Saturday because I'm stoic for 6 days and I'm Epicurean for the 7 days. Because why not? You cannot just travel all over the world and just
that makes sense.
Missing out of stuff, but still, just putting it on paper, it just doesn't add. If I just go and eat chupakis and whatever, pita breads all day here, because the tasty and the desserts is not gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be able to get all aligned with my fitness training, with my sleep schedule. My brain's not gonna work well, so I can do my task. And most people don't understand that, how much this is the discipline in what you eat and how you sleep is important for the overall mental well-being and productivity.
Absolutely. You hit it on the head. It's so important. And unfortunately, like when I was in Egypt, and so you see these 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kids working all day, doing the job of grown men. I told my Egyptologist, we were driving through Abydos, and these kids were working so hard, man. I mean, hard. Like American kids have never seen this kind of work. The hardest ghetto in America has not seen what's going on there. I can go to Chicago, in the hardest area of Chicago, Compton, the most hardcore ghetto in the United States, and transport them over there. They're going to be like, holy crap, this is bad. They're going to be like, this is bad. If I told my Egyptologist, if I take any of these kids to America, they become millionaires. Oh. Every single one of these kids become millionaires by the time they're a grown adult in America. Every single one.
Yeah.
Because they have the work ethic already. They know they're not afraid of work. They expect to work. Over here, not so much.
Yeah. Because we there's a concept in psychology, hedonic adaptation, which means that we just get used to things and we take them for granted, Get someone in the beautiful $1 million mansion and in a few weeks they just take it for granted just because that's how the brain adapts, and that's how it works. Really, any workshops, anything, any project, anything our audience should get curious about?
Yeah, well, I have a huge project right now. The SEC approved Forbidden Knowledge for a first round of funding and as a stock raise. So the stocks have become available in Forbidden Knowledge. So not only can you actually be a supporter of Forbidden Knowledge and watch the TV shows and buy the books and everything else, but you can also own shares of Forbidden Knowledge. And so to do that, you can just go to forbiddenknowledge.com with the number 4, or go to the link in my bio, click on invest, and you can actually own shares of Forbidden Knowledge. This is only round 1. In round 1, they gave us 1,070,000 shares at $1 a share. I made sure it was affordable because my valuation came in so much higher. I told them, pull that back, because if I go at the high valuation you guys gave me, nobody will afford these shares right away. And I want to help build wealth in people. So we dialed it back, so only $1 a share. Round 2 is coming up probably in another 90 days, and the shares will be more expensive. So these first round of shares will have value. Round 3, the same thing again, more value. And then round 4, I'll actually have a stock ticker and be on the stock market. And so it's a great ground floor opportunity for someone who always said, I always wanted to get in something when it first started. I wanted to get in. I missed Microsoft. I missed Tesla. I missed whatever, Apple. Well, this is another one of those opportunities. Forbidden Knowledge TV is 5,200 shows now. You remember when we only had 100 shows. So it's growing fast. Over 22,000 subscribers. And I think we have 30 or 40 pay-per-views on there now. And a lot of new documentaries. And all the footage I just filmed in Egypt is coming to Forbidden Knowledge TV. Exclusive, amazing new discoveries that have never been seen on any TV show or any documentary, because these areas just opened up for the first time in decades, and I was the first one there. So it's going to be great content.
Love it, Billy. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a friend of the page and always coming and sharing your wisdom with us.
Oh, man, it's an honor, man. It's an honor to be able to hop on here with you. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, and you're inspiration for me.
Thank you. See y'all later. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, how does this go off?
The Law of Attraction Life family, we're gonna have this saved in our Instagram TV section after the live. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some common sense out of it, because that's my endeavor. I want you guys to learn how to just discern, and apart from, of course, all the beautiful things like crystals and full moon, just how to understand that, there's a common sense approach to everything, and usually things that involve, manifesting better relationships, more health, more money. It's just based upon understanding certain rules and just applying them and having patience and putting some discipline in, backed by some energy and, some clarity in your goals. Not too clear, you don't have to be too clear in that. And just having some really good people around you from which you can learn. So, have an amazing day. You can connect with me as well at Tiberius Live. That's my personal page. If you have a message for me, you can text me there. I get it myself on Law of Attraction Live. Usually my team is handling it because we get a lot of messages. Okay. If someone can type my profile, that would be helpful because I think okay. Oh. Anyway, guys. It's been here as well. It's at Tiberius Live. I'll see you again this Friday. And also next Monday, we're going to have Joseph McClendon. He just came back from doing his event with Tony Robbins to like tens of thousands of people. And just can't wait to have him back on our Monday show to teach us some amazing things about neuropsychology, NLP, neuroscience, but in a way that's understandable and common sense and applicable. So blessings to all, and I'll see you again very soon.